Lads, welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today we're bringing an update to the sexiest deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ojamas. But before we get started, before we dive into the video, I want to take a second to let you guys know what's coming and to remind you to hit that subscribe button, the likes, the comments, all that good stuff. So, the entire month of March will be dedicated on this channel to at least one video a week talking about budget options and budgets. That's right, the entire month of March will be budget month. That means we're going to have deck profiles that are $100 or less. We are going to have tech options that are on a budget. That means each individual card is $5 or less, with emphasis on less. We are going to go over how to build decks using more affordable cards and more of a budget, all culminating on March 31st, the release of How to Yu-Gi-Oh! Budget Player's Guide. But there is something extra. For every 50 subscribers over 400, we will have a giveaway. So if we get up to 1,000, I gotta come up with the money to do 11 giveaways. Make me spend my money. Help me help you. Let's make this fun. So, 400 subscriber special is coming before we hit 400 subscribers, but as an incentive to share this stuff and, you know, spread it around, we're gonna do a giveaway for every 50 subscribers over 400. So if we get to 1,000 in a month, I'm doing 11 giveaways. If we get to way more than that, I will do more than that. I will keep track of the every 50. You could really make my wallet hurt here. But that being said, I want to incentivize you guys to not only like, comment, and subscribe, but to share this video with other people that you think will enjoy a budget player perspective for an entire month. So, without further ado, let's dive right in to Invoked Ojamas. Doesn't that sound gross? Alright, Ojama Invoked. So today we're going to just go over the deck profile, the main and extra. We're not going to go over the side deck today, mostly because I think the side deck for this is kind of subjective and kind of a work in progress. So we're going to dive right in to Ojama Invoked. This deck is actually something that's been a brainchild of mine for a little while, and I'm really excited to explain it and show off the theory of the deck. So, starting off with the Ojamas, we're starting with double yellow. We run 2 of every single one of the boys, so I'm going to throw that there. So we run 2 of each of them, of the originals, of the OG Ojamas. Ojama, yellow, green, and black. They're important. And they actually are very versatile in their uses because of some of the cards in the deck. We're also running 1 Ojama Red. Ojama Red lets you summon Ojama monsters in your hand up to 4. So if you have a really cloggy hand where you just open all Ojamas, this is the way to deal with it, which can happen a lot through like Oja Magic and things like that. So, and then 2 Ojama Pinks. When it's discarded, when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to activate. Each player gets to draw a card and discard a card, and then if you discarded an Ojama card, you can choose one opponent's monster zone and it can't be used until the end of your next turn, your opponent's next turn. So you get to pseudo lock things down with it. It basically continues the strategy of the deck, which is don't let your opponent summon monsters. Next up is going to be 2 Ojama Country. Country is helpful for recursion, which is always nice. And it flips the attack and defense, which can come up big in weird and simplified game states, especially with the invoked stuff. We're running 3 copies of Oja Magic. This card lets you add 1 of each of the original brothers to your hand. You can recur a lot of the resources that way off of this deck with some of the other cards in this deck. Next up is going to be Oja Simulation. Because we're playing the Invoked package, Invoked Makaba, if you have Invocation in hand or Poly in hand or whatever, you can just use Oja Simulation to special summon Alistair from the deck, which is great. The other use for it is, hold on, making sure I read this properly so I don't mess up the effect. So you can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 3 of your banished Ojama monsters and shuffle them into the deck and then draw a card. So this will, like, if this card gets popped, you can just go, okay, well, I've already used Oja Magic, I've banished all 3 of the brothers, I can just banish this, shuffle all 3 into the deck, draw a card, and continue playing. It helps you grind, which is very helpful because the Invoke stuff, while it can grind, is not perfect for grinding, and this recursion is just really nice. One Ojama Delta Hurricane, had to run it because it's got 2 exclamation points. That's not really the only reason. It is super easy to get all 3 of the original Ojamas on the field, and because this card is searchable off of the next card, it's just super helpful. And then finally, for the Ojama cards, is 2 Ojama Pajama, one of my favorite trap cards simply because of the name. Being able to add an Ojama card from your deck to your hand and then discard a card. This card can essentially become a +2 or a +3, just because you'll go, okay, I'll add Oja Magic, discard Oja Magic triggers, I add all 3 brothers, and now my deck thinning has gone down. I've lost 4 cards from my deck on your turn. And that's just really helpful. It also could set you up for Ojama King plays, Ojama Red plays, things like that. And that's going to do it for the Ojama part of the deck. Let's move on to the Invoked, which is going to be 3 copies of Alistair the Invoker. I am using the gold rare because I think this artwork is just super pretty. But being able to search out your fusion, one of your fusion spells, which is the big draw of this deck, is incredibly helpful. Being able to fuse with your opponent's graveyard as well as your own is incredibly helpful. And, you know, things getting banished in your deck actually don't matter too much. Because Ojama Pajama, as an added effect, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon as many of your banished Ojama monsters as possible, so banishing them just doesn't matter. 3 copies of Magical Meltdown. Meltdown adds Alistair. And stops your opponent from stopping your fusion plays, which is important. We are running 1 Terraforming as well as 2 Invocation. I think 3 Invocation is a little heavy because we are also running another card to help us search fusion spells. And that's going to do it for the Invoked package, or at least the Invoked main deck. So far, so good. Next up is the Tri-Brigade package. That's right, we're running the Tri-Brigades in here because they really help with the Ojama cards. So we're running 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Fractal. Fractal is the, you can discard it or send it from the field to the graveyard to dump another one, which is typically Kit, your 1 Kit, which will then let you dump Nerval, and then Nerval will add you Kyrus. So you get to go through all 4 of them. They all have the same primary effect where they get to banish Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters to special summon Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast extra deck monsters. And then you're just locked into only using them, which you only have 1 card in the deck, Alistair the Invoker. That is not a Beast Warrior, or a Winged Beast monster. So it allows you to go into cool things. And then the final play you have is the Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, because telling your opponent you're limited on the zones you could summon, also what you can summon, is really fun. It's fun for you, it's not fun for your opponent. Alright, last but not least, we have a few more cards, and those cards are going to be 2 copies of Fusion Recycling Plant. If you open this and Oja Magic, you're going to be able to do a lot of cool stuff without normal summoning. Because you're able to discard to add a polymerization, and because it was sent to the graveyard, you could add all 3 Ojamas. So this card can become a +2, always nice, off of a discarding effect. 2 copies of polymerization. It's recurable. I've actually contemplated cutting this down to 1, but it's kind of up to personal preference. And then 2 copies of Tri-White, which will let you summon 3 level 2 or lower normal monsters from the graveyard. It is Monster Reborn, but strictly for the Ojamas. And that's going to do it for the main. I believe I think it's like 42 cards. The deck is really fun. But moving on, let's go into the extra deck. This is where the spice begins. So obviously we're running 2 Ojama King. Ojama King locking down 3 zones is really nice. And the 3000 booty is nothing to scoff at. 1 Ojama Knight locking down 2 more zones. Depending on what you end up doing with your hands and field, you can get both of them out. It's really hard, it costs a lot of resources, but you can get both of them out and lock your opponent out of playing the game completely. 1 copy of Ojama Emperor. Emperor just gets really big. Being able to recur Ojama monsters from the graveyard is really nice. So, that does it for the Ojamas. Next up is the Invoked. So we're running just 3. 1 Ragin, 1 Purgatrio, and 1 Mechaba. Purgatrio and Ragin are because we have the Fire and Wind in the in Kit and Nerval and what my opponent might be playing. Mechaba is because of the Ojamas. It just synergizes perfectly well with that, and these can clean out games just out of nowhere, especially Purgatrio. Next up is the Tri-Brigades. So we're running 1 Baron Blossom, 1 Silver Sheller, and 1 Shiraig Ominous Omen. These cards are incredible. Shiraig can clean up games and grind matchups where, okay, I'm running out of resources. I could just make Shiraig banished and non-targeting banish cards. Just get rid of them. Just buy. Poof. Baron Blossom gives you draw power, and Silver Sheller gives you recursion. All are incredibly useful abilities. We are running 1 Simorgh, the Simorgh Lock. We're running Salamander and Almirage and Secure Gardena as additional ways to get into our Mechaba without banishing our Ojamas if we don't have to, as well as giving us multiple different avenues to use our extra deck. And then finally, as flex options, I have 2 free spots. You can put Nightmares here. I just decided to go with 2 cards that I think would be fun, and they synergize. 1 First of the Dragons, 2 normal monsters, and it can't be destroyed by battle with effect monsters. It can help you grind out to resources. And then number 96 Dark Mist, simply because I picked up the ultimate rare and I wanted to flex on it a little. These, like I said, could be a Unicorn and a Phoenix. These could be other cards. These are just the ones I decided to go with because they can come in useful in different niche scenarios. But that is going to do it for Ojama Invoked. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that like button, like I said at the beginning of the video, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Look forward to all that budget stuff coming next month. I've been working on this deck for a little while. I have a lot of fun with it. Is it competitive? Can be. It can do a lot of competitive things. It is not a hyper competitive deck, but I thought, this would be fun to show you guys. So let me know what you think. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and until next time, lads, good fun. Have luck.